Hey guys, Flegg here from Ethical Property Partners, the place where we help you to get annual returns on your property portfolio on a monthly basis. Now this is the fourth and final episode in our series on the 4 phases of your property business. So to recap, we've got the starting phase, we've got the building phase, we've got the protecting phase, and then we've got the finishing phase. And if you've not watched the other 3, then you want to start with the finishing phase, phase 4. You want to then look at the episode on the protecting phase, phase 3, and you then want to look at the building phase, phase 2. And this is your final episode. It'll be the shortest as well. The episodes have been about 25 minutes, and then 11, 12 minutes. And this will be the shortest of all of them actually, because this is the phase that is most taught, most focused upon, and by all trainers if I'm honest, but also in EPP it's the phase that we've got to systemize the most, because getting going is actually the easiest thing to do. Loads of people can get going and if you're sat there and you haven't got going yet, and by getting started, that phase, the starting phase, I'm talking about doing your first 5 deals, your first 3, 4, 5 deals. So if you haven't done that, then I'm going to give you 2 tips. 2 tips in this video for how to get started. You obviously need to have a strategy. You obviously need a business plan to be following. You need to be marketing for deals in the right locations. You've got to have your geography right. You've got to have resources, the correct resources for your strategy. So you've got to have the time requirement for your strategy and your location. You've got to have the money if you're going for a strategy that requires money, etc., etc. So all that to one side. And to be fair, many people don't have that. Many people pick the wrong area. They have the wrong level of resources. They've been on a 1-day, 3-day course and they think they can make £1 million over the next 3 weeks by doing 1 hour an evening. That kind of misconception is quite common. But if you've got that to one side, you've got that sorted, my 2 biggest tips are: the first one is to stay above the line. Now that comes from an action coach educational concept where we talk about being above the line, having ownership, accountability, and taking responsibility for your situation. So if things aren't going well, then owning that, being 100% accountable to yourself for those results. The opposite to being above the line is being below the line, and this is where I see a lot of novice investors. So when you're below the line, you're blaming things about you, you're denying that there's a problem, you're denying that there's something wrong with what's happening for you, and you're making excuses. So blame, denial and excuses are what lives below the line. And I see lots of novice investors saying, well, you know, you can't do B&V at the moment because we've seen 10% capital growth over the last year. Says who? We've got loads of B&V deals going through at the moment. In fact, just on Tuesday, we had a monthly trading day on Tuesday. We had 6, 7 partners stand up and describe deals they're doing at the moment. One of those deals was an £830,000 discount that they're getting some properties at. £830,000 discount. And yet you see people on Facebook, you know, experts saying, well, you can't do B&V because the market's too hot, or you can't do B&V down in the southeast. That particular deal was in the southeast. It's hilarious, isn't it? And so you've got blame, denial and excuses. So first tip when getting started is get above the line. If you have been trying to invest in property for the last 10 years, 8 years, 5 years, 3 years, but haven't done any deals yet, is it the market? Is it the rubbish mentor you had? Is it really you didn't have enough money? Or is it perhaps your mental attitude, your actions over that period of time? Is it perhaps something about you? Perhaps your skill set isn't strong enough. Perhaps you're not good enough in front of a vendor. Perhaps you need to improve on your communication, etc. So being above and below the line is really important. The second tip I have for you, if you're starting out, and I've just touched on it just now, it's take action. Take massive action, because if you're taking action, it's like throwing mud at the wall, and some of that mud will stick and you'll start to get some results. You'll start to get some momentum. I had a meeting with someone yesterday, a partner who has not had the smoothest start to their franchise, and they gave me some stats, and the stats were something like this many letters has led to only this many telephone fact finds, and I'll share the numbers with you. I think it was 500 letters had led to 18 telephone fact finds, which had led to 1 help visit. And the insinuation, the complaint, the feedback was, so it hasn't really worked very well. Now, I looked at those numbers, and because we track numbers on the partnership, I actually know that those were above average numbers. That is better than the average partner's getting, but it hasn't led to a deal, because you can't expect 100% conversion on your first ever help visit, the first time you ever meet a vendor. But to write 500 letters and get 18 of them phone you is amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And then to speak to 18 and go and visit 1 is also pretty good. Not as amazing, but pretty good. So to turn help visits into signed, done deals as a new partner is probably going to be a 25% conversion rate, something like that. So all that needed to happen was that particular partner needed to just deliver an extra 1,500 letters, and then she's going to get another 3 help visits, probably do a deal. Not definitely, of course, but equally could possibly do 2 deals. And so my top 2 tips are: stay above the line, take massive action. And if you take massive action, if you throw enough mud against the wall, some of that action, loads of it's going to be in error, because you're learning, you're starting out, you're going to make loads of phone calls and get them wrong, you're going to deliver letters to the wrong properties, you're going to say the wrong things. All of that's to be expected. That's part of learning. But if you give up because you don't get instant success, you're never going to get to the building phase. Whereas those people that take massive action, normally because they've got a really good incentive, often people that are really successful have their backs against the wall and need to make it work. Or the opposite, they're really hungry for success, really hungry, not just, oh yeah, it'd be nice if I could quit my job, really hungry for success. And if you get one or the other of those 2 motivators, ideally both, often those people will take massive action, they will have the right mindset, they'll be above the line, then they are very likely to be successful. Those are my top 2 tips. There's tons of education on this YouTube channel about the mechanics of getting your first few deals, but if I'm honest, these 4 phases of your business, that's the easiest bit. Getting up to speed with your property investing, where you are doing a deal every 3 months, a deal every 2 months, a deal a month. Some of our franchisees are doing a deal a month. Is not hard. That's not hard. The message from this series of videos is to focus on phase 2, phase 3 and phase 4, because that is where people come unstuck. I hope you've enjoyed this series, guys. I will see you in an episode soon. If you've enjoyed this series, please do share the episodes with those that might like to learn, might get benefit from them. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and hit the subscribe button. And until next time, happy investing.